Welcome to Family Friday. I'm Ray Davis, the Family Life Minister with the North Oaks Church of Christ in Santa Clarita, California. And I've spent the last few weeks talking about the wisdom of Proverbs and how that can help our families. Today I want to look at some texts that deal with focus or diligence about family matters. Now, I will post in an email, those of you that get the email link, where you can see all the scriptures that I have that are kind of the basis of this. And then I'm going to talk about just a few. I won't read them to you. You can read them for yourself, but I'll give you a little commentary. But the main thing is you're going to have to go back and look at these texts and figure out what they're talking about in your life. More often than not, the object of your focus or diligence rewards or punishes you. If you focus on doing good, you are likely to win God's favor. If you focus on evil, guess what? It will find you. And if you focus on nothing, your life will be wasted. Now, those who are focused or diligent on a task or goal, they usually become experts in that area. And once they're experts, they become the bosses and set the agendas for those who do not apply themselves in those areas. If you're not focused on money management, your creditors will rule your life. If one parent is absent from the family, the parent who interacts with the children will be the expert of that family, and the absent parent will most likely be too ignorant to know what to do and will just almost be another child in that setting. Now, diligence plans steps, details, and benchmarks. If you simply jump into a task with any complications without thought, it will more often than not lead to failure. Just think about it. The quick money fix of a daytime loan or a lottery win ticket does not replace the need for careful thinking. Remember, about 33% of big lottery winners are bankrupt within 3 years. Now, let's take a couple of look at two texts that focus on you have to be involved. This one, of course, talks about a lazy person. And if you're not involved with your family, your work, your education, your church, your health, your retirement, it will eventually catch up with you, and you will be nowhere close to where you thought you would be. Now, this text really speaks to the rancher or herder. You have to know the condition of your livestock. Just because things went well last year does not guarantee things will go well this year, or even week to week or month to month. How has your spouse changed? What needs does she or he have now that they didn't have last year? You got to make an adjustment. Just because your kids were great and pliable in their preteen years does not mean that things will go smoothly when they become teens. You have to be focused and diligent to know what your family is thinking, feeling, and what their needs are. Now let's look at 3 texts that focus on relationships. Those who spare the rod, don't let that word just throw you out of your chair. Catch the main point of this verse. If you're going to create a thirst for godly wisdom in your children, it will take focus and a diligent plan on your part. What's your plan? Are you operating it? And then in 27:15, if you realize your roof is leaking, you do something about it. You figure out where the leak is coming from. And if your wife is contentious with you or anyone else, there's a reason for it. Discover what that reason is and try to help your wife figure it out. And your husband too, as far as that goes. And then the final one, if you're attentive to matters of the Lord and you put your trust in God, you will find yourself blessed and happy. So again, the emphasis is you have to have focus and discipline because that's what you're going to reap. You need to be involved if you're focused or diligent. And you, most importantly, you need to be focused or diligent about your relationships because these are what last. So the wisdom of God found in Proverbs tells husbands, wives, parents, and children, be diligent on the things that matter. Focus on what counts. I used to do a series on authentic manhood with the men of the congregation, and one of the 4 principles that we got across was avoid passivity. A lot of men, and I'm going to pick on you, a lot of men know so much more about their sports teams than they do about their kids or their wife. Well, you know, your sports teams are not going to cry at your funeral. They don't even know that you exist, but your wife and your kids do. So don't be passive in what's most important.